Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Vanessa Dunn Guyton, and I am the proud founder and executive director of Hush No More. Hush No More supports survivors when they're ready to come forward to share their journey, to get resources, or just to have somebody to listen to. Not only do we support survivors, we also support organizations in our community. So we go and talk about the hush topics: sexual assault, domestic violence, human trafficking, child sexual abuse, all of those topics that are very important to our families, to us, because I believe that awareness plus knowledge equals prevention. And once you know about something, you can actually prevent it from happening, right? You could try to prevent it and get as much information that you can for you, your friends, and your family. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I want to talk about how can you protect yourself legally? From our standpoint as an organization, we are not one to tell you don't protect yourself. We've met a lot of crazy people. We've seen a lot of crazy things, and sometimes it's not safe. And so, how can you protect yourself? How can you protect your family? We're real big on learning about self defense, right? One thing about self defense is that we take the one class and then we forget. You have to keep going. You have to start learning how to defend yourself and always, always have something handy that you can use to protect yourself. And so for us, we talk about from a legal aspect how you can do it. If you choose to carry a weapon, I always say know the laws in your state of having a concealed weapon. Do you need to have a concealed weapon permit? Can you carry it in certain locations? You need to have the information in hand so that you could defend yourself the right way. Right. And so I talk about that all the time. How can you defend yourself the right way? And it's more than just saying, I have a weapon. You need to know how to use it. You have to be comfortable with your weapon. You have to know how to keep it safe from your children and your friends and your family. We've been seeing too many stories of children getting weapons. So having a lock and how do you protect yourself? How do you carry your weapon in your car? Those are the things that you need to find out in your state if you decide to carry a weapon, a gun. That's what I should say, to carry a gun in your state. Be aware of the laws and certain things, like if you shoot somebody that's hurting you, can you shoot them in the back? Does it have to be in self-defense? You need to know things like that when you decide if you want to carry a weapon. In our state, we have a new set of laws as it comes to concealed weapon permits. And so if you have a concealed weapon permit, I still advise you to get more training so that you know what's going on in the state of South Carolina as it relates to laws. I always tell individuals that if you are in a domestic violence relationship, call the police or call 911 and just let it record. And the reason being is you don't have to file a report, but at least there's a record saying that there was abuse going on, right? We want you to file a report if you get to that place where you're comfortable. But if not, you want to do things like call the police, at least have a neighbor call the police and let a report be in place, because we want to build up a case for you so that if you do decide to use a weapon, you're not just going to jail because you shot your spouse or you shot your girlfriend or your boyfriend, right? We have evidence to help support that you've been in a domestic violence relationship. And believe me, that is not an excuse to be able to shoot somebody. You don't ever want to shoot to kill. But it's really hard for us to go to bat for you in the court if you never told anybody about your abuse. We've had cases where individuals said they've been abused for 20 years and they finally snapped, right? That doesn't work in the court of law. So you want to make sure that you're documenting the abuse. You want to make sure that somebody else knows that this is going on. A lot of times we don't want our neighbors to know what's going on in our home, right? I will tell you, if you're in a domestic violence relationship, a lot of times your neighbors already know. I will tell you that. They know. They just don't say anything, right? Because they want you to have your privacy. If you don't feel safe in your home, your neighbors are a very good protection for you to ask them, look, if this person comes in the neighborhood, if this person comes to my house, if you see me screaming, if you see me flash the lights, can you please call the police? That is a really good, safe way to protect yourself and to start documenting the abuse. Sometimes you're not ready to leave. Sometimes people leave and come back. That is okay, but we want it documented so that we can protect you. Another thing is you don't necessarily have to use a gun, right? You could use things like a knife. In my house, I have a machete by my bed. I have, yeah, I have a machete. I have knives hidden throughout my house so that if something was to happen, I can get to one of those. Anything could be a weapon. A bat could be a weapon, but make sure that you know how to use it. And when you pick up a weapon, that you're ready to go for it and use it. But don't feel like you can't protect yourself from individuals who are trying to harm you because you can. And I don't want you to ever feel like you are alone. You could call our office and get advice on it. We have a lot of individuals who are available. Like Lance Adams is one of the members on our team, and he actually will talk to you about what you could do to protect your home. What can you do to get training for yourself, to defend yourself? How can you legally carry a weapon? And those things are very important. So instead of being in this place where you don't feel like you could fight back, or when you're ready, I want you to get comfortable and be ready. And when you are ready, be informed on how to protect yourself. This Saturday, we are having a concealed weapon permit training here in South Carolina. It's not virtual because it's not legal to do it virtual. But if you are here in this area, I highly recommend for you to take that class, even if you already have a concealed weapon permit. Because one day you might decide you want to carry a weapon, and you need to know what are the laws. And also, if you already have a weapon, you need to practice with your weapon. You need to practice how to cut the safety switch on and off. And I know people are probably saying, why is she talking about this? We get so many calls of individuals who need to protect themselves in our state, all around the country. And so I want you to feel like you are empowered if you so choose. Now, some of you will say, I don't want to carry a weapon. That is perfectly fine, right? That is fine. But I want you to figure out what you can do for yourself to protect. So do you need to take a boxing class, a taekwondo class? How can you defend yourself from somebody from harming you? So you can also do it with just your physical body. I think that's very important as well to understand that. If you carry pepper spray, do not just buy pepper spray and never try it out. Okay, a lot of people do that. You carrying around pepper spray in your keychain in your car, you've never used it. Your pepper spray should always be on the ready. Like if you're getting out of your car at night by yourself, or you're coming into your house, or you're in a parking lot, your safety switch should be off of your pepper spray. Number one. Then you need to know how to use it. You need to feel comfortable with switching around like this. However it works, you need to test out your pepper spray. If you don't want to test it out physically because you don't want the fumes and the gas, the smells to get on you, you can also go on Amazon and get a fake pepper spray container that you can use in practice. So don't just buy something and not feel comfortable with using it. Give you something else. For me, I stay protected, y'all, because I guess I'm kind of like weary because everything that has happened I've seen. This is a item that you could buy off of Amazon, and you can get it from different companies. And you can't carry it on the airplane, but you could jab somebody in the eye with it. You could try to get away with somebody with it. And it's just a real steel device that you can use to protect yourself. So I carry one of these on my keychain. There's also what we call a personal safety alarm that you can carry as well that will sound off if you are in danger, right? So let me show you what these look like. And I'll show you. This is an example of one. It's a personal safety alarm. You can put it on your keychain, and that's what it sounds like. So it's very convincing that something is going on, right? So it's just a little keychain. It's a personal safety alarm that you can use to protect yourself. And I will tell you, if something happens and you're out and about, a lot of times we tell people don't call for help because people don't want to help you these days, right? Don't call for help. Say things like fire. You say fire, they call in the police, they call in the ambulance, they call in the fire department. But you want to be able to stay safe. Don't think that nothing can ever happen to you, because a lot of times it happens to people that never think that something can happen to them and to their family. These little alarms are so good for your children to carry, right? For them to have it and to be able to use it whenever they feel comfortable. So what I'm telling you is something that you could talk to your kids about as well. So you want to be able to protect yourself. You want to always pay attention to your surroundings. When you're coming into your house, don't get out of your car until your garage comes down, that door comes down. You need to make sure all of your house is just secured, and just make sure that you protect yourself. And especially if you are in a domestic violence relationship. Okay. There's things like you could put alarms on your windows. We help people in that way. We have installed those floodlights. Your house should be lit up at all times. Your house should be lit up. It shouldn't be dark so that we can make sure that we can see what's going on. And in my neighborhood, we all have cameras. So we make sure that our cameras are facing our neighbor's house. So not only do I have a camera all up and down my street, but when something happens, we can go across the street and say, "Did you see something over here?" Because their cameras are facing our house. So those are good things that you could do to protect yourself, and make sure that you do it legally. Make sure that you're protecting yourself legally and that you understand the laws. And for me, I want you all to be safe. If you have any questions, you can always call me and reach out to me, and I can always link you with somebody in your area or somebody here that can actually help you and tell you some things that you could do to be safe. You can also get somebody to come in and just walk around to tell you if they see anything that might be of danger. That's important as well. So get somebody else's eyes, get a friend to come in and say, "Come look at my house and see if you can get in," and check it out for me. Also, if you are in a domestic violence relationship, you could also install cameras in your house. That's something else that we advise. So the cameras could capture certain things, especially if you're not ready to leave, right? So, what can you do to be safe and protect yourself if you are not ready to leave, if you're not ready to fight back, if you're not comfortable with that? But when you are ready, reach out to us because we're ready to give you the information that you need to make sure that you're safe. That is so important. Um, we don't really talk about that, right? We don't really talk about safety. And I'm military. I am military, and so you will see that I kind of had those characteristics where I believe in a weapon, but I never thought that something can happen to me, and it did. And sometimes we have something where we don't fight back, right? We have that fight, fright, and freeze syndrome, and so we don't fight back all the time. So even no matter how much training you have, you don't always fight back. But how can we get you informed and trained? That is important. Next month is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. There are a lot of events that's going on, not only in South Carolina, but every state all around in April. Look at those events and see what's good for you and what's good for your family because there are resources out here to help you. To help you. Our goal is to do any type of event that we can to give you the right resources and the best information that we can give to you. Saturday is the concealed weapon permit training. It's only $50. They normally run $100, right? But our organization negotiated to get it half off so that you could still come and not have to worry about anything. When you leave out of there, you'll have your paperwork, it'll be signed, and all you have to do is take it to SLED. So that's important that you get that information. On the 9th of August, we're having a 5K against sexual abuse. We're going to walk here virtually in South Carolina. You could do it virtually. Look on our website and sign up and just join us and let people know that you're serious about sexual abuse. Even if you just make a post in your own neighborhood, walk around your neighborhood, get some fresh air, and let people know that in the month of April that you are against sexual abuse, right? That we don't tolerate that anymore. On the 10th of April, we are going to do a documentary screening. The Hush No More documentary features survivors sharing their story, and so that you can get an idea of things that go on, how to protect yourself, to become informed, and to understand the mindset of a lot of survivors. And there's some good information on that documentary, and that will be virtual. So not only is the 5K virtual, the Hush No More documentary screening is virtual as well. Okay. And then finally, on April 30th, we are excited because we're doing an event called Stomp Out Crime. And Stump Out Crime is going to be a huge event full of resources. The police department, the sheriff department is coming. A lot of nonprofit organizations are going to be there, and we're going to be just showing love and kindness. I am going to be joined by Rediscover Me, my sister's voice. She did that community advocate. We are going to have Visions of Women there with us and Restoration and Purpose. We're all coming together to put on a great event at Benedict College Football Stadium. We're going to have free food. It's just going to be a day of learning resources that you can have in your community. The solicitor is going to be there. In some states, I thought it was funny when I got to South Carolina. I was like, what is a solicitor? Solicitor is like the DA. That's what they call them here in South Carolina. But to find out what the laws are, how do you report a crime that happens to you? How do you go to court? How do you get a restraining order? If you're not documenting the abuse and filing the reports, it's harder for us to get a restraining order for you. How do you get a restraining order? What do you do when it's your child? When your adult child is going through domestic violence, when your adult child has been sexually assaulted? It's not always our little kids, it's our adult kids as well. So you need the resources to be able to provide to them. And so I always encourage grandparents to come out, aunts and uncles to get that information. And it's free. The entire event is free. We'll have different things and activities for the kids. We'll have a step show. If you got a step team, we're asking you to come out. There's still time to sign up. And it's going to be just a great day. And that's on April the 30th from 11 to 3. And everybody, and it won't look like this, is really cooler. I've ordered personal safety alarms for every individual that's coming to that event. So the first 1,000 people will walk away with a personal safety alarm that they can use to protect themselves. So, to wrap it up, I want you to feel encouraged. I want you to be informed. I want you to share information with your family and friends and protect yourself. Protect yourself. When you're ready to fight back, be capable of fighting back. Get the training that you need. Attend the self defense classes. Most police departments in your area provide free community self defense classes. Go to those. Find those resources in your area. They are available. It's not just Hush No More. There's some amazing organizations all around the country. And before I go, our domestic violence walk is October the 15th. Sign up, sign up. It doesn't matter if you are in Colorado. You can sign up and just support us and come out. Our domestic violence walk is going to be greater than ever this year. It's going to be at Riverfront Park, downtown Columbia. And it's going to be all about healing. It's going to be next to water because that is my thing. You have a right to tell it and you have a right to heal. So I look forward to just being there with all of you throughout the month of April for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Join those community events. There are so many that you can attend. Get the information because you never know who in your family is going to need it. You never know who in your family is going to need it. And so we want to be able to provide that for you. So thank you for joining me. It means a lot that you took the time to listen. Share this video with individuals because it is important information. And I want you to be encouraged. I want you to be encouraged that you have a right to fight back. You have a right to protect yourself, but you also need to understand the laws in your area to be able to defend yourself, right? And even for my victim advocates, before I go, even for my victim advocates, a lot of times we're in dangerous situations, and it's not safe for us either because people are coming after us because of the work that we do. Some of you may have even seen that I have a stalker that pops in and out on my social media, right? So the stalker should know that I carry a weapon. I will defend myself, and I'll make sure that I do it legally and understand the laws. But I'm not playing with you all, right? I'm not playing. I won't stop doing what I do because I love what I do, and I love supporting survivors, right? And getting them out of that situation. So, peace and blessings to you all. Thank you for just being part of my tribe and for showing love all around the world. So, you have a great